Hey, Eric.
Hey, John.
How you doing tonight?
It's been a long, long day.
Every
That's
day.
good though.
Every day has the same number of hours in
I'm not so sure.
it. Time is relative. That's called selective relativity.
Yeah, there you go.
um,
There you
yeah.
go.
Oh, it's okay. It's Wednesday night. Wednesday night's a good night. So, how was your weekend?
The day was so long. I don't remember what I did over the weekend. I mean, I know I have been doing a lot more cleaning tasks and continue to, while I love my children, enjoy the fact that they're no longer here so I can put things where I want them and they stay. I don't know. And I guess the other fun thing, I think I might have mentioned this before, but so my boy is in a introduction to computing in physics or
Okay.
something like that.
Okay.
So he spends his homework is every week is basically a Jupyter notebook. Like the entire lesson, all the questions are all formatted in Jupyter, and I'm learning some things. So he'll do the assignments, and then I'll kind of check them and give him some
Uh-huh.
suggestions. And I have to hold
Curb
back a
your
little bit.
enthusiasm.
Well, that and just hold back on. Yeah, this assignment is learning Booleans, and this is what the professor clearly wants to teach him.
Oh,
I should not show him the shortcuts
I see.
or the easier ways to do it, or you don't need 10 if statements. You
Right.
really only need two and an else. So I have to curb some of that. But other than that, it has been a lot of fun just kind of seeing him get excited about it, and something he until now has never really seemed to have any interest in what I do.
Computers are cool. Computers are cool.
So it's
Like
fun to see him kind of get into it.
like
So
how they actually work is pretty awesome. Anyway,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it's fun. But yeah, I don't remember what we did this weekend. My painting is done. I know we've been cleaning stuff out, taking it to Goodwill, cleaning out closets, and just
Nice.
slowly cleaning things.
Thank
So,
you. I need to be better
mhm.
about that. Although I don't think I said this on the podcast. My desk is pretty good. I'm pretty happy with my desk. I mean,
Nice.
you can mostly see it behind some of the wires.
You can mostly see.
Um, you know, a guy's got to have his standards, but I
Mostly desktops.
I did anyway. No, it's good. Anyway, but well, so I think I told you I broke my iPad.
Uh, yes, that
I
was
don't.
last week.
I think I said
And I
that. I think
remember,
I said that on the podcast. I was
well, no,
complaining.
I think because it was, you were going to edit the podcast
Uh,
with, oh,
yeah,
but it was right before. But yeah,
yeah. No,
that's
no,
right.
no. So I did not have a new iPad. So I didn't edit until Friday night because I was like, maybe I'll go into the Genius bar and walk out with a new iPad, and that did not happen. So,
Oh, did they take the old one to fix it?
well, so there's a story. Um, but I did. So I literally I came home Friday from the Genius bar and said to my son, "Hey, son, can I steal your iPad for a couple hours? I need to install some
Mm,
software on it."
yeah.
So I did, and I edited and blah blah blah. So that was fine. But yeah. So
Okay.
the iPad replacement is the Genius. Well, so I so I
Are we air quoting genius
no,
here
no, they're
or?
good. Like,
Oh,
sorry,
okay.
I'm
Okay.
sorry. That's the Genius Bar. So, I mean, I was a
Great.
little bit snarky because I go in and I sit down and you check in at the front of the store. As soon as you walk in, they're
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
"Hey, what
yeah.
you here for?" And they're like, "Oh, go sit at the bar in the back." And so I go sit at the bar, and this gal comes up to me and she's like, "Hey, what are you here for?" And I'm like, "Oh, for my iPad's dead." And I said to her, "Are you my genius?" And she said no, but and that was my snarky bit. I'm like, because I don't know, are you
Ah,
my genius? But she was like, no, but what's wrong? And I was like, well, I told her it doesn't boot. She's like, can I see it for a second? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, wow, that's really bent. And I was like, what? And if you hold it and looked it up on the side, it had a definite curve to it. And by the way, iPads are not intended to be curved.
They don't have curved monitors
Yeah,
yet.
this is not a curved
Screens
iPad,
yet.
and nor should you fold them. So I was like, oh well, that's probably what's going on. So anyway, so fine. So the person who was supposed to help me comes out, and she's like, Jay, check this out, and he was like, oh well, that's probably your problem. Anyway, net. They're like, cool, replacement, $99. I was on Apple Care Plus, blah, blah, blah. I was like, how long? They're like, a week. I was like, ugh, are you kidding me? Is there one at another store? Can I go to another store? No, sorry. There's only 3 stores in the Portland area. I'm like, can I go to Salem? Can I go to Vancouver? They're like, no, sorry. I'm like, is there any situation in which I can get a replacement faster than a week? And she's like, well, you can go, like, call, we'll set you up here for a replacement in store. But when you leave, call Apple Care and you can ask for an express replacement and they can maybe get you one faster. So I did. So I literally went out of the store, said, thank you very much. Call me when it comes in. And then I like, before I left the mall, I was on the phone with,
I can see where this is
Apple
going.
Care Plus. Yes, this is not hard to predict. So I'm on the phone with Apple Care Plus, who are like, what's going on? And they're like, fine, but we place a hold on your credit card for the full amount of the iPad, plus the $99 repair fee. I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Give me, like, I use my iPad quite a lot. So they're like, cool. How long will it take? 3 to 5 business days. Really? Can I get it any faster? No. Okay, fine. Then they say to me, John, you should call the store and cancel the replacement that you already asked for because the systems don't interact. And I was like, okay, fine. But what would a normal person do, having heard that? Let's have a race. Okay, like, whichever one gets to me first, I'll cancel the other one. But the store calls me Monday morning and says, I see you asked for an express replacement. Do you still want a iPad replacement? And I, of course, being not a totally dumb person, asked her, are you calling me because you have an iPad for me in the store? To which her reply was, why, actually, we do. And so I was like, I'll be there in a couple hours. So I go down and I get my new iPad from the store.
Right.
They take
express replacement still on the way.
They take my old one. To which she says, you should call Apple Care Plus and cancel the other one because you'll have trouble returning it. So as I leave the mall, I'm literally on the phone with Apple Care Plus again saying, can you please cancel the replacement iPad that I asked for? And that actually took quite a while. I got escalated all the way up to the highest tier of support because evidently they don't have a process for doing this. Although the gal was really helpful and was really nice. And they were like, I'm sorry, it's already shipped. Now, I had not received a shipping notice. So I was like, okay. I mean, if it's already shipped, it's already shipped, but tell me what to do when it gets here. And they say to me, when it gets there, or no, they say, when you get the notice of FedEx, call us with the tracking number because we can maybe cancel it. And if we do, then you don't have to do anything else. I got, like, they don't say when you get a FedEx shipping notice that it's from Apple. They say something else.
Right.
And B, I had 2 emails from FedEx saying that I had tracking numbers, neither of which I could tell which one of these is the Apple one. And it showed up overnight anyway. So tonight I was on the phone with Apple Care Plus support saying, what would you like me to do with the second iPad that I have in my hand? And the answer is, don't bother opening the box. You were supposed to send back your other one anyway. Send it back and then call us on Sunday and we'll issue a refund after we've received it. So, I'm like, I don't really care about this other process because I have had a replacement iPad for the last 2 days, which is what I wanted. And I made it very much worse on myself by attempting to solve the problem. Um,
I'm giggling because this is vintage John.
I'm like, what? You want me to do what? What? Work the system? Okay. So I called him. Okay.
On your mark, get set, go.
Okay. I mean, I'm sort of having the same problem with the door replacement because I went into Lowe's on Sunday and was like, hey, just checking
yeah.
on whether you have a door for me. And of course, the guy wasn't there. So I sent him an email on Monday because they were like, he'll be back in the store on Monday. Fine. So I sent him an email on Monday and I didn't get a chance to talk to him until today. On one of our breaks today, I got a call from Lowe's, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm really glad that I'm on a break right at the moment."
Nice.
He's like, "Well, I talked to Geldwin, and they said that to handle it as a warranty replace or warranty call instead of in-store return or something, I don't know. But net, I'm on like an email thread between Geldwin, who's the manufacturer, and Lowe's, and me, and I'm just like." My door is not completely sealed and it's like leaking air into the house. It's been pretty windy. Did I complain about this on the podcast? I don't think I did, but like when it's windy, you can kind of hear it
whistling under the,
okay. I mean, I could live with it. It's good. Our furnace is fine, but it's not the smartest thing. And I'd like it solved, please.
Yeah.
I have no date of resolution there, nor do I think that there's any action that I can take that will help get me 2 doors or something like that. I don't know.
My children are always embarrassed when Dad insists that people do their jobs.
I mean, I'm super nice. I'm the nicest person that on support.
Nice.
Like it's not a.
But I don't need to see the squabble between you two. Both of you, your job is to sell me a product that I'm happy with. And right now, I don't care whose fault it is. Insert whoever on the other side. And my kids were always mortified when I would go into a store and say, hey, would like to understand why my phone does not connect to cell networks. Oh. And
right. Well, and you have had a couple of weird problems, like weird problems. Anyway. So that's okay. The only other minor thing I was going to say is that I actually went to an in-person beekeepers meeting last night. It's the first time in a while. Maybe last summer I went or something. But
your bees are all snoozing. Do you have? Oh, I just saw.
Have I not given you the update? I'm pretty sure I only have 2 hives that are alive. That were alive.
Oh.
Like 2 weeks ago.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
If you did tell me, I forgot.
I started the winter with 5 or 6, and I mean, it's not like I've cracked open the top or like actually dug in to see, but based on activity,
this last couple of weeks have been really cold.
Yeah,
too.
Based on activity outside on a warm day a couple of weeks ago, warmish day a couple of weeks ago, there were only 2 that were active, and they were active. They were very active, and so it was very obvious that those 2 were fine.
Oh.
So
sorry, dude.
Yeah. What you gonna do? Gonna buy more nukes. Fund the beekeeping club. It's fine.
Buy more nukes. That's a spelling requirement, not a listening requirement to interpret that.
That's true. Context matters. Context is king. Context is king. Nucleus colonies, not nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right.
Okay. How about some security something?
Speaking of nuclear weapons, have you? I'm sure you've seen the new Chinese AI platform DeepSeek.
Yes.
Taking the world by storm.
Much kerfluffle and and crushing of the Nvidia stock.
Yeah. Apparently, yeah. So it's a new AI platform. Apparently, it's much better than all the the local U.S. players, much cheaper, much lower cost, etc. I'm sure there is some debate in
I
the
didn't
truth to those statements,
I didn't really catch the
but
better so much as it was trained so cheaply. It was like 5.5 million or something like that. Was that it trained
popularity breeds something.
attention?
Attention. They had to
Unwanted attention?
disable. Yeah, they had to disable registrations this past Monday, so a couple of days ago, be due to a large scale cyber attack. It appeared to be a DDoS attack, so distributed denial of service attack, and the popularity of it has been coming because it overtook ChatGPT as the top downloaded app off the Apple App Store.
Wow.
Which the whole this is Chinese and we just booted TikTok and now we're back to I don't know what's going on there.
Is there a little bit of protest downloads?
Something.
I don't know. Okay.
Anyways, there was a big denial of service attack. They limited the registrations, but if you were an existing user, you could log in and use the app just fine. I think that was kind of part of it, and there's a whole separate report that the article will link to. It's a Bleeping Computer article. Has some notes from another security company who has done and found a bunch of security flaws in
specifically
DeepSeek.
with DeepSeek.
Specifically with DeepSeek, they were able to use similar jailbreaks to ChatGPT. There's websites you can go to on how to jailbreak ChatGPT, and by jailbreak ChatGPT, it's get ChatGPT to do things that it's
safety protocols
not supposed to do.
Yeah,
right?
we've had a couple of those as topics.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
symbolic
not supposed to allow
logic
you
is
to, make detailed instructions for toxins or explosive devices, or create, write me a ransomware program in C++. Apparently they were able to get DeepSeek to do the things it's not supposed to do relatively easy, and there's a whole separate report that's linked to from the article that will make that even more fun for DeepSeek as its popularity matures, we'll say.
Welcome to our brave new AI world.
Yeah.
And the the S in AI is for security.
It's just like IoT.
Yeah. That's the joke. Okay, so my topic was a healthcare breach that I was like, we talked about this, but evidently we didn't. So this was it's United Health subsidiary Change Healthcare. Last February they had claimed that it was a breach affecting 100 million people, and now they're updating the number to be 190 million people. So I was like, we talked about this, but no, we talked about the census breach, which was in the Midwest, like twice. So I mean, the problem with this, like 190 million people, it's like most Americans, and the amount of data stolen was tremendous. And I mean, it'll affect us, presuming that if we were in there. I don't remember seeing a notice for myself, but who knows? It could be that I missed it. But it said, here's the actual quote from Change Healthcare. So Change Healthcare has determined the estimated total number of individuals impacted by the Change Healthcare cyber attack is approximately 190 million, said Tyler Mason, a spokesperson for United Health Group, in an email to TechCrunch. The vast majority of those people have already been provided individual or substitute notice. The final number will be confirmed and filed with the Office for Civil Rights at a later date. Some amount of data from this breach was already published online by the hackers. It says that the hackers who claimed responsibility, and evidently Change paid at least 2 ransoms already to prevent further publication. Probably didn't entirely help. And the data stolen was extensive. Names, address, dates of birth, phone numbers, email, government identity documents, which include social security numbers, driver's license numbers, passport numbers, healthcare diagnoses, medications, test results, imaging, care and treatment plans, health insurance information, which includes financial banking information.
So pretty much all the things.
All the things.
All the things.
And even if you're like, oh, I've never been to Change Healthcare, like the fact that they service so many people and were like a document records company doesn't mean that your data wasn't actually stored by Change.
Right.
So I will be keeping my eye open for a notice if that, if I'm kind of like breached by association.
Right.
So that's the bad thing. And by the way, it was as would be expected. It says, according to testimony by United Health Group's CEO Andrew Whitty to lawmakers last year, the hackers broke into Change's systems using a stolen account credential, which was not protected with multi-factor authentication.
That's unfortunate.
I'm surprised at how many places still don't have MFA deployed, or even, I guess this was a year ago, but even so.
Yeah.
So there you go. Change healthcare.
Fun?
Hit me up. I need something fun. Something fun would be great.
A long time ago in 2020, I think my something fun was about this rocket and probe we sent off to intercept with an asteroid called Bennu to land on the rocket, extract some material from the rocket, and bring it home. And then September of 23, so 3 years later-ish, we had another one, something fun, where it had actually succeeded. And it had got the data, and I think the sample. So it had rendezvoused, interviewed. And then in October, we had yet another one of 23, where it had actually touched down. Was it somewhere in the Utah Salt Flats or something?
I now remember this. Yes.
Right. So I have talked about this for quite a while. Now, technically tomorrow, Thursday, at noon Pacific, they're doing a live NASA TV reveal on the findings. So when it landed, it was, we're going to take the particles and we're going to give them to a bunch of researchers and have them
I remember that.
do analysis and look at these. So tomorrow is the big NASA TV reveal. But if you want to listen to NASA's Curious Universe podcast, they just released a podcast tonight where they interviewed one of the researchers who got access to the material and was able to do research on it. And so you could get a preview if you want to spend the next hour before you go to bed, John.
I'm gonna go to bed, but okay.
Anyways, so it's the NASA's Curious Universe podcast, and so that's kind of my something fun here. And I just want to read the intro and then one cool fact that I found out of it. I read through the transcript. So the host, Patty Boyd, says, it starts out kind of, how did we get here? How did life start on Earth? Some of the answers could come from the asteroids in our own solar system. So NASA sent a spacecraft called OSIRIS-REx to sample one, an asteroid called Bennu. In the 16 months since NASA's scientists cracked open the sample container, so that was October of 23. They've been carefully studying rocks within, and now they finally are sharing some exciting results. In new research, the OSIRIS-REx team reveals Bennu carries organic molecules, the building blocks of life, and we're going to talk about all of this with Jose Aponte. He's an astrochemist what a cool title. Astrochemist who works with the OSIRIS-REx team. He's one of the few people who gets to get up close and personal with Bennu. And then Jose, welcome to Curious Universe. So one of the...
How awesome.
It was really cool. Anyway, so this was the one paragraph I'll read, and folks can listen to the rest. Or I'm sure after tomorrow's NASA's big reveal tomorrow, there'll be a lot more press on
articles.
But the host, Patty, what does the sample look like? Does it look like a rock? And Jose responds, yes, the samples. I mean, they are really dark. They look like charcoal, literally. You wouldn't be able to distinguish, like naked eye, is this charcoal or is this meteorite or Bennu? You wouldn't be able to tell. So we get the samples in what we call eagle containers. The eagle containers are these metal tubes that are sealed under nitrogen gas inside a special facility where they curate Bennu. I think we even talked about that before. So they weigh the sample there inside those nitrogen gas chambers, and then they ship them to where he's at Goddard Space Center. And then they open the containers in this clean room. He described the clean room they have earlier in the podcast. Hopefully by that time, the sample has not absorbed any of the earth water, because there's natural water in the air, and it remains pristine as possible. So that's why if we need to crush it, we crush it. And that's where the fun starts.
That's so awesome.
So I'm totally looking forward to what the results are.
That's totally awesome.
From these organic molecules and what they actually...
That pretty much just means carbon, like. Right?
Yeah, you would think. But don't rain on my parade.
Okay. Sorry.
I want to stay excited.
I don't mean to...
Organic molecules, the building blocks of life.
Okay. All right. I'm
All right.
I will not rain on your parade. Especially when I like...
If they just say carbon now, I'm going to be like, John said it. John was right.
I think I've told you, I don't remember if I said this on the podcast or not. I really do regret only taking freshman chemistry as a senior in college, because I really enjoyed it. And I would have loved to have taken more chemistry classes. But I did not fulfill my requirement until senior year. And then I was like, wow, I should have done this earlier. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay. So my something fun. I was our something fun. You and I are on a theme or something like that. Because I was like, well, I already did this as a something fun, or one of us did it. It might have been you. The search for the Endurance. Remember, they found the ship Endurance, and we did this in 2022. So it was a couple years ago. So, okay, fine. But the National Geographic, at the moment, has a big article about the search or the hunt for the Endurance. Totally awesome. Read it. And that's what we'll link here. But what I pulled out of the article specifically was there are a bunch of photos in this article that were original from the Endurance. And I don't know why I don't remember seeing some of these. And they're famous, I guess. And I'm just oblivious. But evidently, there was a photographer, Frank Hurley, who was on the Endurance and documented its final days in the crew's journey of survival. Here's a quote from him. November 14th of 1915, Hurley wrote, "One cannot conjecture that the mass of tangled wreckage was once the Endurance. The ship slipped into the..." this is not a quote. "The ship slipped into the depths a week later after 10 months ensnared in the ice." But so Hurley... It says, after the crippled vessel began to take on water, Hurley braved the flooding inner cabins to retrieve his negatives, the glass plate, celluloid, and nitrate motion picture that he had stored in soldered tin boxes to protect them. In the following months, the negatives traveled with the men across the ice, then over the sea to Elephant Island, where Hurley and the crew survived for 4 months before being rescued. So all these photos, and there's a photo of a ship here it's kind of in a negative. It looks amazing. Very cool. Mm-hmm. Very cool. And then evidently when they got back to civilization, the quote is, "Hurley wasted no time making his photos and filmed footage public. Following the crew's return, he directed the 1919 film South, which detailed the journey and wildlife of Antarctica. Hurley's nitrate motion picture negatives are held by the BFI National Archive. I don't know what the BFI National Archive is, but final thing is, and we should put like that picture of the ship as the chapter art here, but final thing here is they compared objects in some of Hurley's photographs with objects that were evident in the photos that the people who the scientists who discovered the wreckage were. So there's a image of a ladder, for example, and the same, like how that ladder was in like one of Hurley's photos for like climbing out of the boat. There's a image of literally a boot, like a wreckage of a leather boot, and the image from Hurley and a caption that says, Frank Wild, Shackleton's fiercely loyal second in command, was one of 6 crew members assigned to oversee the expedition's sled dogs. Wild sported distinctive buckled leather boots, one of which may now rest on the Endurance's deck. And so there's a photo of literally just, underwater of a boot, a leather boot laying, on the water, but then a photo of the man sitting with a couple of sled dogs, and these like not calf, thigh high leather boots. Super cool. And then the similar thing, there's a picture of the men on hands and knees cleaning this linoleum floor with a distinctive pattern in Hurley's photo. And then again, a picture of some of the wreckage with the clear linoleum with the same pattern. Although the ironic thing is the photo from 2022 is in color. So you can see the color of the linoleum in the wreckage photo, but not in the original photo. Yeah, totally cool. Anyway, I thought this was a cool article. Still, definitely something to remember and go read the full article if you want. But the photo stuff is very cool.
Sorry, I was getting distracted by the article.
Exactly. Well, that's what something fun will do. So.
With that,
all right, my friend, have a great night. I will talk to you later.
We'll see you, John.
Bye.
Bye.